I got a strange feeling that something was wrong with my mom. She always calls me every Sunday at 8 p.m. sharp. She never misses it. But this Sunday, no call. I tried calling her back. No answer. Texted her. Nothing. My brother said I was being dramatic, that she probably just fell asleep early. But something felt off. Really off. Like my stomach was in knots. Mom never misses our calls. Ever since Dad passed away, it's been our thing. Every week for 3 years straight, no matter what. I drove to her house at 11 p.m. My brother kept texting me saying I was overreacting. She's probably just watching her shows, he said. But that feeling wouldn't go away. It was like a voice screaming in my head. When I got there, her car was in the driveway. Lights were on, but she wasn't answering the door. I could see her favorite mug on the counter through the window, still steaming. I used my spare key, found her on the kitchen floor. She had fallen and couldn't reach her phone. She'd been there for hours, calling for help. Her voice was almost gone. The doctor said if I hadn't shown up, it could have been really bad. She had a small stroke, just like Dad did, before we lost him. My brother apologized later, but I didn't care about being right. I was just grateful I listened to that feeling in my gut. Now Mom wears a medical alert bracelet, but she still never misses our Sunday calls. Sometimes your body knows something's wrong before your brain does. Always trust that feeling.
What is the best thing that has ever happened to you for being nice? Back in high school, there was this really quiet kid named Marcus who always sat alone at lunch. He was constantly getting picked on by these three guys from the football team. They'd knock his books down, make fun of his thrifted clothes, typical bully stuff. One day, I saw them corner him near the lockers after chemistry class, and something in me just snapped. I walked right up to them and said, "Hey, how about you guys try picking on someone who actually wants to fight back?" I was terrified inside, but I stood my ground. The main bully, Jake, tried to intimidate me, but I just stared him down. A teacher walked by and they backed off. After that, I started sitting with Marcus at lunch. Turns out, he was incredibly smart and helped me pass calculus that year. We stayed friends on Facebook after graduation, but mostly just liked each other's posts occasionally. Fast forward 7 years, I had just sunk my life savings into opening a small coffee shop downtown. 3 months in, and I was drowning in debt. Bills were piling up, and I was about to lose everything. Then Marcus walked in. He'd created some super successful tech startup in Silicon Valley. When he heard through mutual friends that I was struggling, he drove across town to see me. Without hesitation, he bought $50,000 worth of coffee vouchers for his entire company, saying, "You stood up for me when no one else would. Now it's my turn." That money saved my business. Today, my coffee shop has 3 locations, and Marcus's company is still our biggest corporate client.
What is the cruelest thing you've seen a child do? I never thought I'd have to choose between my sister and my daughter. Mia came to live with us when she was 9, after my sister lost her job. Just until I get back on my feet, Kristen promised. 4 years later, they're still here, and I've watched something troubling unfold. It wasn't obvious at first, just small things. Mia hiding Zoe's belongings, then comforting her with exaggerated sweetness when she cried, the whispered comments that only Zoe could hear, the calculated way she'd turn Zoe's friends against her at school, one by one. Girls have conflicts, my husband would say, but I saw the systematic isolation. My 12-year-old now slept with her door locked, afraid of her cousin. Finding Zoe's journal was the breaking point. Pages of a once confident girl now filled with self-doubt. Maybe I really am the problem like Mia says. When I confronted Kristen with evidence, the messages Mia had sent to classmates about Zoe, she defended her daughter fiercely. Zoe is probably exaggerating for attention. That night, I overheard them in the kitchen. "She's trying to come between us," Kristen told Mia, just like she always tried to make Mom love her more than me. I realized then that this wasn't just about the girls. This was a pattern repeating itself. My sister teaching her daughter the same competitive cruelty. Last week, Zoe's therapist called it what it was: sustained emotional bullying. When I tried again to talk to Kristen, she accused me of blaming her parenting for Zoe's sensitivity. Yesterday, I gave my sister 30 days to find a new place. My family thinks I'm overreacting, but they don't see what happens in the quiet moments, the calculated harm disguised as normal conflict.
Have you ever hated your own child? I never thought I would, until I discovered what my son was doing to pay for his little sister's cancer treatment. Emma was only 6 when she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Bills were crushing us, $15,000 a month, even with insurance. I worked 3 jobs: warehouse, gas station, weekend construction. My wife cleaned offices after her grocery shift. We were drowning. My 16-year-old son Jay had always been responsible. Honor roll, varsity baseball, never in trouble. But after his diagnosis started acting strange, he came home with expensive gifts for Emma: American Girl dolls, Nintendo game, bags of her fave organic gummy bears. When I asked where he got the money, mumbled something about odd jobs for neighbors, mowing lawns, walking dogs. I want to believe him. We did any help we get. The gifts kept coming. A $200 tablet so Emma could watch movies during chemo. Designer pajamas to replace gowns she hated. A stuffed elephant cost more than groceries. I got suspicious, but Emma's smile when she got those gifts, that was her only luck. Then her treatment worse. Standard chemo wasn't working. Her doctor recommended an experimental drug. $50,000 up front. Insurance wouldn't cover. I spent 3 days calling every charity, foundation, begging for help. Nothing. 2 a.m. I sat at the kitchen table, calculator in hand, figuring out if we could get a cent mortgage. When Jake walked in, his eyes were red. He handed me a manila envelope for Emma's treatment. I opened it. Stacks of cash. All of it. $50,000. Where the hell did you get this? I demanded. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Does it matter? Emma needs it. It matters to me. Jake, where did this money come from? He stood there, tears falling. I can't tell you. The next day I followed him, called in Dick, watched as he walked past the bus and student lot. Black Mercedes pulled up. The driver looked 40, in a tail suit. Jake got in. I froze. 3 hours later, same car dropped him at a downtown coffee shop. Jake walked out looking destroyed, stuffing something into